Hello, welcome to Matters of the Heart, a marriage and family show featuring James and Kathy Flowers.
Hi, hello everyone. So glad to be here. Thankful for this opportunity to talk to everyone about relationships that really can get close to the heart. They can really create problems in the heart. And so it's really important to do relationships right and try to be skillful at it, because skills are the best thing you can do to improve and have good relationships. So as we talk about this, we want to talk about it from a place of tonight, just scratching kind of the surface, the foundational surface of things that are important to give us a good start so that we can move into other skillful areas. Let me first paint this picture. One of the things that we talk about in relationship education, we've been doing that for over 30 years. My wife and I have been married for 50 years, and she'll be with me next week. She's not able to be with me tonight, but she'll be with me next week. One of the things that we've been talking about in our classes that we do in churches and in seminars and in San Diego prison system is this concept of the four stairs, four steps. And so let me just talk a little bit about that before we go farther. There are four basic steps in the experience of learning something. And the first step, or first stage, is unskilled, unaware. I'll go through them and then we'll come back and talk about it. The first step is unskilled and unaware. The second step is unskilled but aware. And the third step is skilled and aware. And the fourth step is skilled and unaware. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, the first step, unskilled and unaware. The person that's unskilled and unaware thinks that all of the problems that they're having is somebody else's fault. They're not aware, for example, that they aren't skilled at how to communicate. They're not aware that they don't know that what they're saying is shutting down the person that they're talking to. They're not aware that the words and the mannerisms that they're using are disrespectful. The other person's perceiving you as disrespectful. They're not aware that they're creating pain for the other person. Now, here's something, we'll talk about this a little later. I call it a buoy. There are three buoys, and this is one of them. All humans move away from pain and move toward pleasure. It's something that you need to know so that you can always be conscious of the fact, am I a pain or am I a pleasure? What is my mate's experience for being with me? Am I a pain in the way I talk, in my mannerisms, in how I disrespect her or treat her or take her for granted? Am I a pain or am I a pleasure? Because this is what you need to know. If I'm a pain, she's moving away from me. Now, this is what that looks like. Hey, babe, what's wrong? Nothing. Nothing. Looks like there's something bothering you. Oh, no, nothing. Nothing's wrong. That's called moving away from me. Okay, so the person at the first level is the most difficult person to deal with. Unskilled, unaware. They are actually at that stage unteachable. Unskilled, they don't know that they don't know. Unskilled, unaware. The second step is this: unskilled but aware. What that means is something has happened in our relationship, or something has happened that brought me to the point where I have finally figured out, you know, I might not be good at this. There's something wrong with how I'm doing this that's not working. I need something to clean my glasses. I need to get some help and develop some skills so that I can do what I'm trying to do better. I'm not good at it. I'm still unskilled, but I've become aware. Unskilled, but aware. 2 steps: unskilled, unaware. Unskilled, but I'm now aware. Now, the second step is actually the beginning of learning. It is the beginning where a person begins to learn. It looks like this. I think I'm going to go take some classes or get coached on how to do something because I realize I'm not good at this. So that person may go to a relationship class or a workshop or seminar or something like that to learn how to do relationships. They're open now to, no one tells me how to treat my mate, or no one tells me how to talk to, no one tells me how to do relationships. I'm okay. It's not my problem. The problem is not me, it's them. Okay. Skilled, unskilled rather, and aware. The third stage in third stair is this concept called skill but aware. It is the most awkward place. It's the most difficult one of all of the stages. Skilled and aware. And what it really means is this: I have learned some new things, but they're awkward to me. I'm not used to doing it that way. I'm not used to talking like that. I'm not used to acting like that. It feels phony. It feels awkward. It doesn't feel normal for me. But I've learned that it's better to do it this way, and I'm trying to do it. Remember when you first learned how to ride a bicycle? Remember how awkward it was when you first got on the bike for the first time, or when you first got on a pair of skates for the first time? Remember how awkward that felt? It was like you were doing something that wasn't natural for the human body to do. At skilled and aware, you fall down a lot. We fall down all the time at skilled and aware. The difference is we keep getting up trying. And the more we get up and keep trying, the more we keep trying, the more we get better at doing what we're trying to do. And as we keep doing that, all of a sudden the comfort level starts to come. We start to become more comfortable with it, more comfortable with skating, more comfortable with communicating, more comfortable with interacting with each other. And at that point, we move to the final stage, which is skilled and unaware. And what that means is this: we've become so comfortable at doing the skill that it becomes natural to us. We naturally communicate good. We naturally are aware of the other person. We are better and much better now at creating pleasure in our conversation versus creating pain. And we can do it without much effort because we've gotten comfortable with doing the right thing. Here is the benefit of skilled and unaware. At that point, you're not putting a lot of effort into doing what you've learned how to do. It's become a habit for you. And so you're not putting a lot of effort in it, but it's the habit. It's how you do things now. And because you're doing it that way, you get to reap the benefits of being a skillful person. You get the benefit of it. Okay, so those 4 steps. Unskilled, unaware. Unskilled, but aware. Skilled and aware. And skilled and unaware. Okay, now let's take that and incorporate it into a discipline. I like to call this intentionality triangle. I call it our intentionality triangle. So if you have some paper, or if you don't, just kind of imagine in your mind, or go get you a piece of paper or something and draw you a triangle. Okay, and you take that triangle and you divide it into 3 sections: a bottom section, a middle section, and a top section. At the top section of the triangle, it's pointed. So the bottom section of our triangle is the base of the triangle. The middle section holds and puts the bottom and the top together. So let's look at it this way. 3 disciplines: willful at the bottom, conscious in the middle, effort at the top. Willful, conscious, effort. This is the discipline that you and I have to develop for ourselves personally. I need to become a willful person. I need to become conscious, and I need to put forth effort. Now, let's talk a little bit about it. Have you ever went into a grocery store and watched a kid whose parent was preoccupied doing something else, and they were going nuts in the store? And the first thing that comes to your mind is, where is your mother? If we're not careful, without a parent for our emotions and our body, we will be unchecked, like the child in the grocery store that doesn't have a parent to bring them in. So the will, which is the conscious of the spirit, the will becomes the parent. Every human, whether you're a child or an adolescent or a young adult or a senior or somewhere in between, every human needs a parent. Your will becomes your parent. Your will has to parent your emotions and your body. In the middle triangle, so at the bottom, the will is the parent. So the concept is this: if you're writing, I purpose to be willful. I need to develop and grow my will until it's strong enough to parent my emotions and my flesh. Otherwise, my emotions and my flesh will destroy my relationship, because it's not a natural concept. Relationships now is not a natural concept. I don't know if well, okay, that would be on the spiritual side, but let me just kind of stay out of the spirit right now. Okay, so you want to talk about that, just write me or text me or something. We'll go there. But right now, let's just stay in the regular area. Okay, so every human needs a parent. In the middle of your triangle is this concept: I commit to be conscious. I'm committed to be conscious. Conscious of what? Three things I need to be conscious of. I need to be conscious of people. I need to be conscious of potential possibilities. And I need to be conscious of opportunity. Did I say that? Conscious of people, conscious of opportunity, and conscious of the possibility of things changing. Conscious, willful, conscious effort. I hope this is making sense. So let me say it again. I need to be conscious of purpose. That's it. That's how I got it. I need to be conscious of purpose. What is my purpose? I need to be conscious of people who's surrounding me, and I need to be conscious of possible opportunities. Purpose, people, possible opportunities. I need to be conscious of. So in the second layer of my triangle, where my emotions lie, I purpose to be conscious. Now, here's what you and I need to understand about emotions, because that's where they lie in the center. Emotions say this to you: it's all about me. It's all about me. Here's the reality. You're in the world doing what you do. In fact, you actually have the right to be yourself in the world. You have the right to be yourself in the world. And I come along and you're being you, or you're saying you, or you're doing what you do, and I get offended behind what you're doing or saying. And the reason I'm offended behind it, or I choose to get offended behind it, because it's all about me. Now, how many of us understand if you go into a relationship thinking it's all about you, that relationship's going to have a lot of trouble? So what do I need to do with this it's all about me emotion? I need to have a parent that comes along and says to me, you know what? It's not all about you. So check yourself. Don't react like that. Don't say that. Don't do that. Don't even think that. Get back over here. I need a parent to parent my emotions. And then there's the other area, the point of the triangle. Remember, human behavior is two things. Human behavior is what you say and what you do. That's human behavior. And in the point of the triangle, what you say and what you do always come with consequences. So you need a parent for the point of your triangle. What you say and what you do requires a parent. The wheel has to come along and parent you. The tip of that triangle has a lot to do with body language. It has to do with your body, and it has to do with your mouth, what comes out of your mouth and how you act. Now, remember, the body is like the emotion says it's all about me. The body says, I want what I want, and I don't care what it costs you, long as I get what I want. I want what I want. I don't care what it costs you, as long as I get what I want. You need a parent to come alongside you and say, no, it's not okay to just get what you want at the expense of other people. You need a parent to come along and say, that's not okay, and no, get back over here. So you need a parent to parent that body that wants to do what it wants to do, and it don't care what it costs you, long as it does what it wants to do. You need a parent to tell the mouth that wants to say what it wants to say, and it doesn't care how much it hurts or harms or damages you. You need a parent to tell the mouth, close your mouth. Stop talking. Don't say that. Willful, conscious effort. Purpose to be willful. Commit to be conscious. And use appropriate, skillful effort. Purpose to be willful. The discipline is to purpose to control your flesh and your emotions. Can I say this to you? A person that's out of control is really no good to anyone. A person that can't control their flesh or their emotions is actually a weak person. And weak people cannot do good relationships. Strength in relationships have nothing to do with body mass or biceps or chest muscles. Or the strength of a relation has to do with your ability to control you, to do what you've said. For example, if you said, I love you. Love is a sacrifice. Love's not just a feeling, it's a sacrifice. It doesn't always feel good to sacrifice. But can you sacrifice in spite of how you feel? That means I need some strength to do that. That means I need a will to check my emotion when I don't want to do it. Something to tell me to keep my mouth closed when the wrong, inappropriate thing is trying to come out of it. Something to tell my flesh, back off of this when what I'm trying to do with my body is inappropriate. Purpose to be willful. Commit to be conscious. Conscious of purpose. Conscious of people. Conscious of opportunity. And give out and use appropriate, skillful effort. I don't want to waste time. We'll talk about this in the next episode. But it's really important to be good and skillful at what you do so that your effort is really good and on point. That you can realize the benefit of being a skillful person. I think we talked about last time the importance of, and we'll be talking about communication, and we'll be talking about safety in relationships. I think the last time we were together, we talked about, just hit the surface on the concept of sex, and we talked about the importance of intimacy. And I don't know if we defined it, but intimacy, let's define intimacy. Intimacy is emotional openness with physical closeness. Let me say it again. It's emotional openness along with physical closeness. In fact, if the two don't work together, there is no such thing as intimacy. The thing that you and I need to know about intimacy is that intimacy is actually a biological need. Not sex, intimacy. Emotional openness and physical closeness is a biological need for humans. It's in the same category with water, and it's in the same category with air and food and shelter. They are biological needs. We need air to breathe. We need water. We need shelter. We need food. We need intimacy. It's one of the reasons we keep connecting. Think about this. If we're connecting out of need, but don't know how to create intimacy, we create a desperate situation where we keep connecting to people, but we don't know how to find intimacy with a person. The beginning of intimacy is this: safety. Safety. That means my triangle. If I'm going to be in a relationship, I need to point it toward being safe. Now, you can think you're safe. The problem with safety is you don't determine how safe you are. It's the other person that determines that. You can think you're safe in how you talk and the words you use, even how you play with another person. You can think, oh, I'm just kidding, I'm just playing. The problem with this is you don't determine if you're safe or not. The other person determines that. Because intimacy has a price to it. It's called vulnerability. You can never become intimate without becoming vulnerable. Intimacy feels like this. I'm tied up. I'm in a room and I'm tied down and I'm exposed to this vicious, huge dog. And there's nowhere I can go. It's the reason people don't open up to other people, because they're afraid of the dog that they see. I don't mean that in bad terms. I mean this vicious animal that they see. Now you could think, I'm safe. I didn't mean nothing by it, or I'm just playing. I'm just having fun with you. But the reality is this: all humans wear two badges. One says, I'm safe, and the other one says, you can trust me. And again, the problem with these two badges, the other person determines if that's true or not. If we're not good at communicating, if we create pain for our mate as we talk with them, the pain that we create for them makes them want to move away from us. The reason they're moving away because of the pain says it's not safe to become vulnerable to you. It's not safe. So I hide and I move away. It's so important for us to understand the need to discipline ourselves so that we become a safe, harmless person, that this person that's connecting to me can become vulnerable with, so that we can achieve intimacy. It's one of the dangers in getting involved sexually before you really know a person real good. I would always advise that you marry a person, and before you marry them, you spend, 1, 2, 3. I think my wife and I spent 5 years just going out before we, got married. I think that says a lot. It'll tell you a lot about who you are and what you think about that person and all of that kind of thing. I think it's really important for us to set an example for our children. Healthy relationships create healthy environments so children can grow up and become healthy. If you want a good mate, the key to having a good mate is to become a healthy individual. Healthy people attract healthy people. Weak people attract predators. Dysfunctional people attract dysfunctional people. I hope this is making sense. Just kind of talking tonight now. One of the things I wanted to cover was that triangle. I wanted to make sure I covered it. So remember the triangle. As I point at the different things in my relationship that need to be addressed by me, I need a parent that tells me how to deal with my mate so I don't create pain for them. One of the first things we tell couples, especially when they're having trouble, stop creating pain. It's a decision. Stop creating pain. You can never come together if you're constantly creating pain for each other, because whenever you create pain for your mate, you push them away. So the beginning of getting relationships back on track, stop creating pain. If I don't know how to, if the way I talk is painful, I need to change how I talk. If the way I act is painful, I need to change how I act. If my mannerisms are painful, I need to change my mannerisms. If I'm acting disrespectful toward you and that's painful, I need to change my behavior. Stop creating pain, because you can never get to intimacy if you're creating pain. The problem with never getting to intimacy is that it's biological. We need intimacy. If I'm at the stage of I don't know, unskilled and unaware, I start going through relationships thinking the other person is the problem. I leave them going to somebody else thinking they're the answer. To find out, I start doing the same thing with them that I did with this other person, and the same thing starts to happen. I create pain for them. They move away from me. I leave and go to somebody else. I create pain for them, and they move away. And then I go to somebody else, and I create pain for them, and they move away. The problem with that is that in the wake of all of those people that I've been with, sometimes I leave children in the wake of that. Who needs a daddy? Or who needs a mama? It's really important for us to become skillful. And the beginning of that is willful, conscious effort. Let me say it another way. I purpose to become willful. I'm going to grow my will to the point where it can parent my emotions and my flesh. I commit to become conscious. I need to be conscious of purpose. One of the things we ask couples when we do relationship coaching, answer this survey. Why are we together? And don't use the words because we love one another. No. Why are you together? What is the purpose of being with you? Purpose. Be conscious of purpose. Conscious of people. People around you. Your mate. Your children. Good friends. Family. Purpose to become conscious of people. And commit to be conscious of opportunities. Opportunity to grow. Opportunity to encourage. Opportunity to build. Hopefully this has been helpful today. I am going to kind of stop there and we'll pick up here next week. But around the outside of that frame now, we'll get into this next time. On one side of that a triangle is this concept called heart-to-heart communication, heart-to-heart, speaking in conflict, heart-to-heart. The other one is speak my heart. And then the other side of that triangle is work for a heart-to-heart connection. Okay. Hear the other person's heart. I'm sorry. Hear their heart and then speak my heart. We'll talk about that and work for a heart-to-heart win. Okay. Hopefully this has been helpful. We'll move to the next. We'll move a little bit further. Excuse me, next time. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, again, this has been good. Thank you.
This has been Matters of the Heart. Every Monday at 6 p.m. Join them. Kathy Flowers couldn't be there because she had another appointment, but he did a powerful job. He's going to be there. They're going to be here each and every Monday at 6 p.m. Marriage and Family Ministry at its best here on Facebook and YouTube Live. We'll see you in a couple of minutes for our next show. Bye-bye.